Cars are simply written off. They can't be repaired. Of course, really sensitive for the team's
a todos
finances.
que estão conectados aqui nessa transmissão. Bom domingo de velocidade aqui diretamente do Autódromo Internacional Zilmar Belks em Cascavel. E olha só, esse não é um domingo típico no TCR, né? Porque nós vamos ter duas corridas ao invés de uma. Como vocês já sabem, ontem houve o adiamento de uma das corridas porque o Nelsinho Piquet acabou não conseguindo largar. Ele que era o pole position, o carro dele acabou desligando, acabou apagando. Estão apurando ainda o que aconteceu e houve um acidente. 3 pilotos não vão participar, Nelsinho Piquet é um deles, por isso quem herda a pole position é o Thiago Pernia. Em segundo lugar, o seu pai, Leonel Pernia, que é o atual campeão do TCR South America. Nós temos os carros aqui já posicionados, né? Pedro Cardoso, Rafa Reis, que é o atual líder do TCR Brasil, e os outros dois pilotos que não vão largar são Guilherme Reichel e Bruno Massa. Eu sigo aqui trazendo as informações diretamente aqui do pit lane, porque não vai ter grid, vai ser uma corrida de 23 minutos mais uma volta.
Thank you so much, Letty. Mentioning that also the race will be 23 minutes long plus one lap, not 25. Mentioning that Guilherme Reichel and Bruno Massa will not start the race. As per the information we have, Nelson Piquet Jr. is either not racing today as the car simply cannot be repaired and they will need new units from Europe that will be sent overseas for the next round to be held on April 26 in Interlagos. Here's Camilo Trappa. He stopped on track. Behind him is Enzo Gianfrati. Behind is another Hyundai. As the cars are now on the pre-grid procedure. As they are heading to this is what happened yesterday. Look at Nelson Piquet Jr. here in the near side of the screen. He stops. The cars are there, and Bruno Massa tries to avoid Diego Ciantini, but then he cannot avoid hitting Nelson Piquet Jr. Then Adrian Chiriano couldn't avoid him either. And Guilherme Reichel was there. You can see that Juan Angel Rosso and Gabriel Moura here in the near side, the two cars stop, and that second hit of Bruno Massa's car is what forced the race to be suspended. If you watch again, you will see this is Thiago Pernia, who inherits the race lead, considering that he is the driver that was in second place off the grid behind Nelson Piquet Jr. And as we said, Nelsinho Piquet is not racing today. All drivers thankfully were okay following the very big impact you saw. This man, Leonel Pernia, will join his son. I'm not sure if it's one of the very few times, and they might be the only case in which father and son held a front row in a TCR event. Let's go, Leti, with Federico Punteri.
Bom, eu estou aqui com o Federico Punteri, que é o diretor do TCR South America. E lembrando que isso aqui não vai ser uma largada, vai ser uma relargada com safety car. Federico, primero saber las actualizaciones del estado de salud de los pilotos, ya hemos hablado un poquito, y después hablar sobre esta decisión de adiar la carrera.
Hola, buenos días a todos. Bueno, la verdad que los pilotos, a ver, Nelsinho y Massa también los dos, sin mayores problemas. De hecho, hoy ya Bruno compitió en el turismo nacional. El que por ahí sí tuvo un golpe un poco más fuerte fue Guilherme, pero por suerte todo el protocolo de salud funcionó bien, se lo llevó al hospital, están haciendo estudios. Yo creo que tal vez lo perdamos por algunas carreras, pero nada grave, así que creo que lo más importante es que todos están bien de salud. Respecto creo de este proceso y de la relargada y de la demora, creo que fue correcta, es una decisión importante. Lo primero siempre tiene que ser la salud y la seguridad de los autos y de los pilotos. La verdad que estaba muy golpeado acá el paredón y el guarray del lado externo. Se trabajó, ya lo pusieron todo en orden, así que está todo dado para poder largar de vuelta.
Muitas graças. Lembrando que todos os protocolos de segurança são altíssimos aqui. O Nelsinho vai correr, ele está fazendo jornada dupla, ele vai correr pela Stock Car logo mais, então tudo bem por aqui.
Very well, thank you, Letty. She was talking to Series President Federico Punteri, who explained that all drivers are okay. Even Bruno Massa himself has already raced earlier this morning in the Brazilian Turismo Nacional, one of the series that joins the event. Nelsinho Piquet was in hospital with some check-ins, but he's okay, and he stated that the decision was correctly taken, considering health and safety of the drivers, and every person involved in the event is, of course, the biggest priority. And the pit wall was too damaged, and there was absolutely no way to hold an event, to hold a race in those conditions. Let's have a look at the standings of the tournaments. Juan Angel Rossi is leading on 58 points, 2 points clear from Leonel Pernilla and Nestor Girolami. Rafael Reis is the highest ranked Brazilian driver, 4 points behind Rosso. Camilo Trapa is in 5th place on 53 following his win in race number 2 in Curvelo in the opening round of the tournaments. Then we have the second page. We had 23 drivers in the opening round. We have 22 in this weekend, and unfortunately 3 of them will not be racing today. We repeat, Guilherme Reichel, Nelson Piquet Jr. and Bruno Massa. The only driver involved in yesterday's crash that is racing today is Adrián Chiriano, big protagonist of the TCR Trophy division, as we watch Joaquín Cáfaro, the Uruguayan youngster. Behind him is Nestor Girolami, the newly entered Hyundai MSA team, with the TCR World Tour star Nestor Girolami. This is Eric Schotten, who arrived to W2 Pro GP in this season. Behind is Camilo Trapa, one of the big surprises of Rave's event number 1. After taking a win and this is TCR Brazil standings. Rafael Reis, Leonel Pernilla, Nelson Piquet Jr., Celso Neto, Tiago Pernilla, Juan Casella, Pedro Cardoso, Gabriel Moura, Enzo Gianfrati and Nicolas Fuca. Also, worth to be mentioned that the race will be restarted under the safety car, and it won't be a pure race start. Pedro Cardoso here starts in 4th place now, considering Nelson Piquet Jr. is not here. The grid would have Thiago Pernilla, Leonel Pernilla, Rafael Reis, and Pedro Cardoso in the first 2 rows. Then Cafaro and Girolami in row number 3. Eric Schott and Camilo Trappa, Enzo Gianfrati and Diego Ciantini rounding off the top 10. Actually, I must correct myself, it's not exactly a grid, so we cannot be talking about rows. It will be a restart of the race, so we will see actually a rolling starts, not a standing starts. And the cars get going now. We'll have now the cars joining the track in the grid order. "19 cars will start this race." You said Bruno Massa, Nelson Piquet Jr. and Guilherme Rachel will not be racing today. Here are the cars on the safety car rolling starts. I think we'll have 2 warm-up laps, but the clock is already ticking down. And after this, we'll restart the race. The clock is already ticking down, so we are actually racing. Oh, Cardoso had to lock up his brakes. Right behind Rafael Reis. So the new race order is Pernilla, Thiago Pernilla leading from Leonel Pernilla, Rafael Reis, Pedro Cardoso, Joaquín Cafaro, Néstor Girolami, Eric Schott, and Camilo Trappa, Enzo Gianfrati, and Diego Ciantini in the top 10. De Moura, Casella, Rosso, Gian Antoni, Pesini, Chiriano, Fuca, Maglione, and Romano. The ranks. Safety car has turned off the lights, and here is the pack coming together. Then you have the back markers joining the back of the grid. There's the safety car. We have some cars that have not caught the pack. There are the last ones. Look at Adrián Chiriano holding back Nicolás Fuca, Enrique Maglione, and Gabriel Romano as Thiago Pernilla speeds up into the main straight, and now we are racing in Cascavel. Thiago Pernilla leading from Leonel Pernilla, Rafael Reis in third, trying to attack for second. Here are the 19 survivors following yesterday's events, now racing in Cascavel. Joaquín Cafaro trying to attack for 4th position. Diego Pernilla opens the gap from his father and the rest of the pack. We have Adrián Chiriano dropping some positions with some kind of trouble apparently. Pedro Cardoso trying to have a look at the inside of Rafael Reis. That's what Diego Cientini was doing on Enzo Gianfratti and the same with Gabriel Moura. There is Casella going for the 11th place of Gabriel Moura. The Uruguayan tried to attack on the inside. Diego Pernilla about to complete a lap. Here are the cars heading to the main straight. Gian Antoni trying to attack on his teammate Juan Angel Rosso. The 4 Lincoln Coast of Palladini Racing are together in the order as Chiriano is heading back into the pits with some kind of trouble. Perhaps something after yesterday's repairs was not so well. Nicolas Fuca behind, then Maglione and Romano as Chiriano had to head into the pits. We'll see if he's back on track or not. Diego Cientini there attacking Gianfratti. 17 minutes and a half. There is Rosso in the inside, overtaken by Fabian Gianantoni, who's moved up to 13th place. Casella touching a bit of the dust on the outside of the track. And there is Fabrizio Pesini trying to go over Juan Angel Rosso. Moura here attacking Diego Cientini for 10th place. The young drivers attacking us. Here is Chiriano in pits. Honda Racing personnel checking something in the engine. Pedro Cardoso here attacking Rafael Reis for 3rd place. Diego Pernilla has almost a second of gap on his father Leonel. Rafael Reis in 3rd following Cardoso. Here is a good chance. Pedro Cardoso trying to attack, making a wider line in the previous turn. Now heading into the 2nd sector, braking. Rafael Reis protecting the inside line. Cardoso trying to attack for 3rd place behind the 2 Hondas that are leading the race. So we are entering the final 15 minutes of it. The battle for 3rd place. "15 minutes remaining, and there we have the back. Moura attacking on the inside. Moura trying to overtake Diego Cientini. Trying to break on the inside, and Moura moves up a position, jumps into the top 10. Gabriel Moura. Gianfratti leading here the pack with Cientini. Moura behind Cientini once again. And Camilo Trapa also ahead of Juan Manuel Casella and Gian Antoni. 14 minutes remaining. Cardoso in the meantime keeps on following Rafael Reis. The 2 Cupras, the 2 teams, W2 Pro GP for Rafael Reis, G Racing Motorsports, where Pedro Cardoso is racing. Now Gianfratti leading the train of cars behind him from 8th to 13th place altogether. This is the replay of Gianfrati overtaken. Camilo Trappa with a slight contact between the Cupra and the Hyundai. Thirty minutes remaining. The same podium for TCR Brazil. We see that Rafael Reis is battling hard to survive in third place, with Pedro Cardoso behind him. Reis blocking every single space for Pedro Cardoso. It's a big battle for third position in Cascavel at the Silmarburg circuits. 3,000 meters and a little bit more is the extension. Short laps. As here is Thiago Pernilla about to complete lap number 8. Getting into the main straights. 1:05.2 was his best lap. 1:05.6 he sets. 5.5 for Pernilla. 5.5 also for Rafael Reis, and 5.5 for Pedro Cardoso and Cafaro. As the battle keeps going, Leonel Pernilla trying to follow his son. A very, very nice battle. As there they are attacking, and now Leonel Pernilla seems to be going for the lead of the race. Father and son battling all together. Thiago Pernilla is getting to the pits. Something might be wrong for Thiago Pernilla, as now Leonel Pernilla inherits the race lead. Both Reis and Cardoso are now on the podium. Cafaro moves up to 4th, and Girolami is now in 5th position. We'll see what was wrong with Thiago Pernilla. His pace was looking still normal. The second sector was almost exactly the same. His lap times didn't evidence any kind of issue. It's now Pedro Cardoso attacking Rafael Reis for third position. Look at Joaquin Cafaro in the blue and white Peugeot. Girolami is behind him, jumping into the top 5. Behind is Eric Schotten. Gianfrati is now in 7th, and Diego Ciantini is in 8th place. As we have Gabriel Romano, I think, heading to the pits. There is Thiago Pernilla coming back onto the track. But of course, almost a lap down already. He's already a lap down, so he will have to survive on track. There he is, overtaken by the top 3. Already a lap down is Thiago Pernilla. He's not in 4th, but in 17th, a lap down. This is our top 4 of the race, our top 3 of the race. Looks like a top 4, but Thiago Pernilla is a lap down, as Leonel Pernilla was a bit wide in the last turn, and Rafael Reis wants to reduce the gap. Let's see if he can use all the speed of the Cupra to challenge for the lead in Cascavel. He will brake on the outside, and now Leonel Pernilla is heading into the pits. Something really, really strange going on in Honda Racing, as now Rafael Reis and Pedro Cardoso are leading the race. Now Joaquin Cafaro is up into the podium. It's a very, very bad moment for Honda Racing, as both cars had to go into the pits. Let's see if we can see what's going on, because this looks really, really strange. They're changing a tire. Once again, lap times didn't look anything wrong. And now, in the last 10 minutes of the race, it's these two men battling for the lead in Cascavel. It's Rafael Reis and Pedro Cardoso leading the Cupra 1-2. Leonel Pernilla now coming back on track. As Reis and Cardoso jump into the main straights. It seems Leonel Pernilla took a little bit less time as he was already on the way back. He might still be in the leader's lap. So a safety car might help him catch the back of the pack and recover positions. Thinking in the championship, of course. As here is Pedro Cardoso attacking Rafael Reis. Giving absolutely no breath to the leader of the race since the very first moments. It's a very interesting race in Cascavel. Here they are heading to the last turn. This can be the battle for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. With Eric Schotten and Enzo Gianfrati in fifth and sixth. We have 4 Cupras in the top 6. Only the Peugeot, driven by Cafaro, and the Hyundai, driven by Girolami, squeezing between the handful of Cupras. As now Rafael Reis is leading the race, using all his experience to defend from Pedro Cardoso. The 2024 champion wants to be back in the battle. And Leonel Pernilla, after entering the pits, he scored a personal best sector 2, personal best sector 1. So his pace is really there. This is Enrique Maglione leading TCR Trophy. He's the only driver on track of the division, considering Adrian Chiriana has retired. He's actually 6 laps down, so he's not even qualified. And Guillermo Reichel is not racing yet following yesterday's accidents. And now you can see the very tight battle for the lead entering the last 5 minutes of the race in Cascavel. It's Rafael Reis attacked by Pedro Cardoso, who hasn't tried an overtake but is giving absolutely no breath to the leader of the race. Behind, Girolami seems to be comfortable in fourth. Behind him are the 2 Cupras of Schotten and Gianfrati, who wants to go for 5th place. This is Joaquin Cafaro, the Uruguayan, who is looking for his first podium in the series. Now watch the battle between Schotten and Gianfrati. There is a big battle between these two. Schotten made his debut in the opening round. Gianfrati has raced all the season last season. Oh, Reis has a puncture. Reis has a puncture. And Reis is losing loads of terrain. Might that be what happened to the Hondas of Pernilla, both Leonel and Thiago? And now Cardoso is leading the race. Yeah, Rafael Reis will have to battle hard, and if the tire is destroyed on the track, we might have a safety car as Rafael Reis is heading into the pits. His first sector was completely normal, but here in the braking zone, he lost it. You can see the tire blowing up. It's a disaster for Rafael Reis. He was not comfortably, but he was leading the race. And now Nestor Girolami is up into the podium. Eric Schotten up into 4th place. Gianfratti in 5th. Then Ciantini, Moura, Trapa, Casella and Gian Antoni completing the top 10. Here is W2 Pro GP crew working as hard as they can. This is the replay of Gianfratti battling with Eric Schotten and overtaking him for 4th place. Now it's Pedro Cardoso leading the race. You see Thiago Pernilla in 2nd place on the screen, but he's a lap down. I think we're having 2 laps yet. At least, this is Pedro Cardoso. In the race, Thiago Pernilla is there. And you see Rafael Reis, but he's a lap down also because he had to go to the pits. Things that can happen in such a short track like this. You take a stop and you're already a lap down. As there is Enzo Gianfratti attacking Nestor Girolami. Gianfratti wants to go into the podium behind Joaquin Cáfaro, who is winning the TCR Junior Division, followed by Eric Schotten and Gabriel Moura. As you can see, some pieces of rubber from the blown tire of Rafael Reis. Nicolas Fuca has to go into the pits also. Siriano had to go twice to the pits. Same for Gabriel Romano. We have all 19 cars are on track, but several drivers with less laps. Maglione, Leonel Pernilla, Thiago Pernilla, Rafael Reis are a lap down. Fuca and Romano 2 laps down. Chiriano 6 laps down. That means he's not even in classification. That will cost him points for a TCR trophy. In the meantime, Girolami holding Enzo Gianfratti behind. Is the last minutes. So we are having 2 laps remaining. There's Gianfratti overtaking Girolami for 3rd place. Gianfratti heading onto the podium, overtaking the Hyundai as they enter the main straights. Now Gianfratti is up to 3rd, Girolami is down to 4th. Eric Schotten remains in 5th, followed by Diego Ciantini. There is Pedro Cardoso leading the race. He is really comfortable because he has 2 cars that are not battling with him. Thiago Pernilla is simply a lap down. And he's running even faster than Cardoso. I'm sure Thiago Pernilla would try to overtake him, to unlap himself, and simply to go farther. As now Pedro Cardoso is entering the last lap of the race, with Cáfaro and Gianfratti completing the podium as far as now. There's Pedro Cardoso, who is leading the race after winning the title in 2024. Thiago Pernilla wants to unlap himself and is battling with Cardoso. The 2024 champion is back in the winning ways. This youngster will score his first podium in TCR South America. So will do Enzo Gianfratti in this season. Pedro Cardoso in the last meters of the race. Thiago Pernilla and Rafael Reis battling for 15th and 16th place. And here is Pedro Cardoso winning race number 1 following the events. Pedro Cardoso scores his first win of 2026. Joaquin Cáfaro will go into the podium for Uruguay Racing Team, and Enzo Gianfratti takes third. The thrilling race in Cascavel. It's an incredible race we've seen in Cascavel. Last drivers are crossing the line. Here is our winner. It's Pedro Cardoso, the 27-year-old. Here is the Junior Cup winner, Joaquin Cáfaro, also heading onto the podium. Here are our drivers coming to the Parc Ferme. Pedro Cardoso celebrating the win. Here is our winner. Here's Pedro Cardoso taking the correct place. Here is our winner. Celebrating Pedro Cardoso back in the winning ways. His last win was in Interlagos in 2025. There it is. Joaquin Cáfaro in second. Enzo Gianfratti scoring his third podium in TCR South America. Top three with Cáfaro and Gianfratti on the podium. Then we have Girolami, Eric Schotten in a great fifth place. Also into the TCR Junior podium, followed by Diego Ciantini, Gabriel Moura in third in TCR Junior. Camilo Trapa, Fabián Gianantonio, and Juan Casella completed the top 10. TCR Brazil's podium is with Cardoso, Gianfratti, and Schotten. This is what decided the race. Cardoso seems that he had margin to put the pressure on Rafael Reis.
Estou aqui com o Pedro Cardoso, que conquistou aí a primeira vitória do ano, já na segunda etapa e logo dobradinha, TCR Brasil e TCR South America, Banco BRB. Parabéns, Pedro. Quais são as suas palavras aí? Um fim de semana atípico, né? A corrida era para ter acontecido ontem, aconteceu hoje.
Bom, primeiramente eu gostaria de agradecer ao meu patrocinador, à minha família, que faz um esforço incrível para eu estar aqui. Então essa vitória é para cada um deles, minha mãe, Thomas, Gabriel, meu pai Sérgio, o nome da minha mãe é Valquíria. Cara, sim, um final de semana bem atípico. Ontem a gente teve um acidente muito feio e no final das contas só um piloto teve uma lesão leve e a gente tem que agradecer a isso. E eu gostaria também de dedicar essa vitória ao Bruno, meu companheiro de equipe que não conseguiu correr hoje por causa do acidente. E é isso, muito feliz com a equipe, muito feliz com o resultado, feliz também pelo Enzo ter chegado em segundo na TCR Brasil. E acho que a gente tem muito caminho para andar, mas começamos muito bem.
Muito obrigada e vamos com mais entrevistas. Maglione, que foi o vencedor aqui pela Trophy.
Maglione, TCR.
Hablar un poquito de la carrera y cómo es empezar el año ganando.
Y bueno, la verdad que la primera en Curveló, en las dos tuvimos problemas.
We had trouble in Curvelo in the both rounds.
Bueno, esta carrera era largar y llegar, era la meta.
And
después
here
me
it
empezaron a
was
decir que se rompía la goma delantera
surviving, then
derecha
I was
y
told
empecé a
that's
cuidar, y
our
cuando vi que estaba ahí tranquilo
front
me quedé en
rights.
el lugar que estaba.
So when I saw I
Muchísimas
had to be
gracias. Ahora vamos a
there
hablar
in
con Joaquín
Nisi.
Cafaro. Felicitaciones por la victoria en la Junior y
Here from
segundo
Cafaro,
en la Geral.
congratulations for
Hola para
the
todos.
win.
Nada, la verdad que re feliz.
Trophy.
Un fin de semana duro,
Very
sin
happy.
duda, estar adelante
It's been
en
a
esta
hard
categoría es
weekend.
muy difícil. Pero bueno,
It's very
un
difficult
segundo
to be at the
puesto,
front
una carrera
in this
quizás un poco
series.
bastante quieta, pero bueno,
Was a quite still
hicimos
race.
una buena carrera, así que estoy muy contento.
But
Bom,
we did a good
Joaquim
race and
Cafaro
really,
aqui
really
falando
satisfied.
então que está muito feliz com essa posição, né? Ele que estreia esse ano na categoria Júnior, que é uma categoria nova, e já conseguindo aí um segundo lugar na geral. Vamos ao pódio agora, felicitações.
Let's go to the podium. See Joaquin Cafaro. Pedro Cardoso was also saying that thankfully drivers were okay following yesterday's crash on top of everything. Nestor Girolami pulls away in the championship lead, considering he ended in 4th today. 15 points away from Camilo Trappa. Pedro Cardoso climbing up to 3rd with the win. Rosso in 4th. Lionel Pernilla in 5th. Reis, Cafaro, Piquet Jr., Celso Neto and Gianfratti in the top 10. As we are heading to the podium. Front right tires were really stressed today. This is TCR Brazil Championship with Rafael Reis at the lead. Lionel Pernilla in second and Pedro Cardoso 10 points short from the lead, taking advantage of all the unfortunate events for his rivals. We have a handful of drivers in the different podiums. There is Enzo Gianfratti grabbing some water. Pedro Cardoso on the right of the screen. At the back is Cafaro. Here is Enzo Gianfratti. Joaquin Cafaro taking second place. the representative of the winning team. And here is our winner, Pedro Cardoso. Joaquin Cafaro, also the winner of TCR Junior. And Enrique Maglione, the winner of a TCR Trophy. Trophies being held. Gustavo Caleiros from Hyundai Brazil handed the trophy to Enzo Gianfrati. Trophy for Joaquin Cafaro as the winner of TCR Junior. Federico Punteri, series president, hands the trophy to the TCR Trophy winner, Enrique Maglione.
Aí o aplauso ao piloto brasileiro Pedro Cardoso.
That was Brazil's anthem.
Juntem-se para a foto do grupo no lugar mais alto do pódio. Todos com seus troféus. E a foto de pódio. Parabéns aos pilotos. E agora pode. A festa do champanhe no pódio.
And now it's time for the champagne and celebrations.
Às 10 horas, abre o voto para o warm-up. 10 horas, o warm-up. Vamos preparar o pódio agora da TCR Brasil. Mais brasileiros no pódio. E o warm-up da TCR em 6 minutos. Atenção, TCR. Preparem.
Here is our winner, Pedro Cardoso. And now it's time for TCR Brazil podium. It's Enzo Gianfrati in third. Eric Schotten in third, Gianfrati in second. And the winner, of course, is Pedro Cardoso.
Copa Trophy, Henrique Marioni. E convidamos ao pódio Henrique Marioni. Agora sim, convidamos Beatriz Chinora, supervisora de eventos Honda. Beatriz entrega para o terceiro colocado, piloto do Brasil, Eric Schotten. Beatriz também é a portadora do troféu para o segundo colocado, Enzo Gianfratti. E o troféu para a melhor equipe vai para G Racing. E o primeiro colocado,
Here the team winning team trophy.
para o piloto brasileiro Pedro Cardoso. Convidamos Felipe Magu, promotor da TCR South America, para entregar a TCR Brasil Copa Trophy, vencedor uruguaio Henrique Marioni. Parabéns mais uma vez ao Marioni.
Felipe Magov, promoter for Argentina and Uruguay, hands the trophies to.
Pegam os troféus, juntem-se ao lugar mais alto para a comemoração de pódio.
All the drivers heading together. This is TCR Brazil podium with Enrique Maglione also winning the TCR trophy division.
E agora sim, o champanhe no pódio.
That's a very nice way to open the battle for Pedro Cardoso, who has collected everything today. Three different winners in 3 rounds. We had 4 different winners in the last 4 rounds. Nelson Piquet Jr. won the last race of 2025. Leonel Pernilla and Camilo Trapa won in Curvelo. Now Cascavel has Pedro Cardoso as the first winner. As here we have the highlights of the race. This is Leonel Pernilla, who was leading the race alongside his son Tiago, but both had to go into the pits. And then Rafael Reyes had the same problem. All 3 had punctures or issues in the front right tires. The most visible one was this one with Rafael Reyes. And it was the end of his win dream. Pedro Cardoso inherited the victory. Enzo Gianfratti here overtook Nestor Girolami for 3rd place. And then it was all the way for Pedro Cardoso to go and win the race. And then we'll have in 4 hours time race number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being with us. It's been a big pleasure. Pedro Cardoso has won the race, followed by Joaquin Cáfaro in his first podium. Enzo Gianfratti once again in his 3rd podium in the series. We'll come back later in 4 hours for race number 2. Thank you very much for being with us, and see you soon.